and welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 5-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Before we get into it, as always, I will be reviewing my lineup that I went with last night with you guys. I've got positive feedback on this. People really like to seem to like me going over my lineups and seeing who I went with and why. Unfortunately, last night on DraftKings, I got bit by the injury bug with Danilo Gallinari going down. He came in for the game, immediately hit a three, got to the bucket, got a rebound, and then rolled his ankle and got removed from the game. So I wasn't able to cash in last night. I still almost made it to the cash line. I was 3 points off. But when you get hit with something like that, unfortunately, you're going to have to, everyone else is going to have to perform. And Rudy Gay kind of let me down. But this is the lineup I went with. I had Trae Young, Bogdanovich, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving from that Brooklyn-Atlanta game. I thought it was going to be a very high-scoring game, so I wanted to capture the upside in that one. And it clearly was. It was 141 to 145, so just a really high-scoring game. I liked Daniel Tice and Robert Williams for some salary relief with no Tristan Thompson. And they both had really good games. And then, yeah, that was pretty much, my thought process and why I went with this one. I did play one other lineup with instead of Robert Williams, Jakob Poeltl. They were the same price tag, and Jakob got the start. So both of them failed to cash. This one barely failed by a few points, and then whatever Poeltl put up. I mean, Robert Williams did a lot better than Poeltl, but with the injury to Gallinari, unfortunately. I wasn't able to cash last so the hot streak ended on DraftKings, but I was able to profit as a DFS player last night, and I actually want to go through this real quick with you guys because this is something that can really help you. If you're serious about daily fantasy sports and you want to be a profitable player, you have to keep an eye on overlay. And last night in the $3 clutch shot on FanDuel, there was some serious overlay. The contest paid out about 26% of people, and then there was like 14% overlay or something crazy. And typically that'll fill up, and I would just keep an eye on the contest up until lock, and about 6:50 or no, it was a 7:30 lock last night, so around like 7:25 or something, there was still a ton of overlay. And I've actually pulled up an article right here for you guys. Riley, credits to him, he wrote this. So overlay is the term in daily fantasy sports where the site guarantees more money in prizes than the amount covered by buy-ins. And when that happens, an average player can expect to make money just by entering. And he goes into this example, but pretty much what happens, for instance, in this contest, in this particular example he mentioned, every $200 you spend in the tournament, you're guaranteed to make back $270. So you're pretty much making $70 just by entering the tournament. And so it's kind of a crazy concept to some people, but this is something you can learn. I have another thing pulled up here where, typically nowadays the only overlay you'll see on sites is about 1 to 3%. So that just goes to show, typically tournaments, they pay out about 20% of people. This tournament was paying out 26% of people and had 14% overlay. So I immediately went ahead and I threw in 100 entries because I saw that overlay, and it's just something that I really wanted to bring to your guys' attention before we get into it. If you're serious, some people are casual, some people really want to be serious, but if you really want to be serious about daily fantasy sports and be profitable long term, overlay is something that you should be looking into and something that you should be constantly keeping an eye on. So, I was able to profit from entering over there on FanDuel. It's a site I don't typically enter, and I got bit by the injury bug on DraftKings, so I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention, try to help you guys become better NBA DFS players, try to help you guys become more informed. And with that being said, quick promo stuff before we get into it. I promise we're going to get breaking down the slate. I have released an NBA DFS package over here on Patreon. We get access to my premium NBA projections, my NBA data sheet, my player stats, team stats, play context stats, core plays, injury impact insights, and NBA Discord chat access. And with all this stuff that I've mentioned, I will be offering some coaching as well to go over some stuff like I've gone over so far in the video. I'm going to be releasing that soon, so if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching, I will be releasing that as well to go over anything. You just email me, message me, tell me your goals, and I'll have a rate hourly or whatever, and we'll set that up. So I'm excited to do that. You can follow me over on Twitter at KJK_DFS, where I'll be tweeting out my top projected play on the slate every night. Last night it was Jakob Poeltl. Had a projected for 6.x his price tag. And I think he ended up putting about 20, so he got there, but he didn't quite have the best game. But I'm going to be tweeting that out every single night. Shout out to Cubs fan 1023, if you're watching this video, I'd leave a comment. I appreciate you. He's been really supportive with the retweets lately, so give him a shout out. And all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and start breaking down this one today. So first game starting at 6:30 on the DraftKings slate. This one right now comes in with a 218 over under, a 3-point spread for the Philadelphia 76ers. 3-point favorites are the Philadelphia 76ers, and a 218 over under, so not expected to be the highest paced game. Joel Embiid is listed as questionable. As far as the latest update on him, it looks like they have bumped him up to probable, so still listed as questionable in the DraftKings lobby, but he's looking good to go. So him taking on the Orlando Magic, of course, you got to always have interest in Joel Embiid, a guy that can literally be a 2 fantasy points per minute producer if he gets hot. I've mentioned that multiple times, but he really can. He put up 62 DK points last time out at 9-8, which just goes to show what he's capable of. So you always got to start with him in this offense. Ben Simmons, the second guy, I think that Ben Simmons is overpriced to start the season. We saw him put up, 33, or I'm not sure the game. Joel Embiid was out, and he didn't do anything too special then either. And at 9-2, I'm going to continue to fade Ben Simmons, so I wouldn't go there personally. He's not a good enough shooter to get you there on DraftKings where the 3-point shot is valued so much. Nikola Vucevic is the main guy on the Orlando side. You can always have interest in him. If we have the salary relief, I could see playing maybe Vuce and Joel Embiid in this matchup, just having them battle back and forth. That would make some sense to me. At 8-7, as we continue along the slate, we'll see what kind of values plays we have. And then all these other guys, I'm not all too interested. Seth Curry and Terrence Ross are both guys that can really shoot it. So these guys priced in the mid or to low 5K range makes some sense. Seth Curry put up 34 DraftKings points last time out at a 5K salary. Shot 3 for 6 from behind the arc, and that's definitely what he's capable of in 33 minutes. So he could definitely put up a similar stat line to that. So I would have some interest in him at his price tag, and the same rule applies for Terrence Ross. Guys that are priced in the low 5K range that can get hot and put up 30 plus DraftKings points, you'll definitely have some interest in those guys. In this one, that's really all of my interest in this one. I wouldn't be playing Aaron Gordon. He's on a minutes limit. Evan Fournier, you could look to. He'd be, one guy. Same rule applies to him. Mid 5K range that could get hot. He could put up, he put up 37 DraftKings points in his best game this year. He's been right around 20. So, but those are guys I'm just playing based on their price tags. Not exactly the fastest paced game. So not a ton of interest in this one. Moving further along, Sacramento at Houston. Expected to get John Wall back, expected to get DeMarcus Cousins back are the Houston Rockets, and I got a feeling I'm going to have a lot of interest in them early on. A guy like James Harden, I'm going to have less interest in because he's not going to have all the usage in this offense anymore. The Houston Rockets are 5-point favorites in this one. This game comes with a 229 over under. So, the top total on the slate, and I would definitely be looking to get some exposure in this one, and specifically with a guy like John Wall, with a guy like DeMarcus Cousins, because I think they're going to be, I think they are underpriced for their debut, and I think they're going to be really involved in this Houston Rockets offense. 7-1 for John Wall, I love him, and only 5K for Boogie Cousins. We mentioned paying up for center, but I have a feeling, I'm going to be going to a lot of Boogie Cousins, and then not to mention he's playing his former team in the Sacramento Kings, so you always like to see that. Little revenge game narrative, so to speak. And I mean, DeMarcus Cousins is a mean guy when it comes to being on the basketball court. He's not play nice, so I like playing him in revenge narratives. Specifically, if he ever faces a team with Myers Leonard on it, take note of that because he does not like him. So I like playing Boogie Cousins in that scenario. Christian Wood on Houston at 7-3 has been a guy we've been really interested in, but he's priced way up now, and with the return of DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall, he's going to take a big hit in his usage. So at 7-3, could he get you there? Absolutely. Is it as easy as just plugging him in and locking him in like it has been the last few times out? Absolutely not. So, we might be looking to fade him. We'll have to see how he grades out in my final run of my projection model, but yeah, he's going to take a hit. On the other side, the Sacramento Kings definitely get a good matchup against this Houston team. Not the best team defensively. And I don't think that's going to improve with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins coming back. Not that they're the worst defenders in the league, but they're not really ones I'm too concerned about. as far as being elite anchors in the defense. De'Aaron Fox last time put up 47 DraftKings points at only a 7.6 salary. He got a slight bump up to 7.8, but he's a guy that when he's in the 7K range, I have a lot more interest than when he's in the 8K range. Just the way his minutes and his usage kind of lines up. So right now at that price tag in this up-tempo matchup against Houston, I'm going to have a lot of interest in De'Aaron Fox. Buddy Hield, same thing, 6'8". He's been seeing around 35 minutes a game. Hasn't really put up that big game that we know Buddy's capable of, where he starts stroking it from deep and he can literally go like 9 for 12 from behind a three-point arc. But just waiting on that game, and this one, it definitely makes sense for it to happen, taking on this Houston team, up-tempo game with kind of a lackluster defense. And this Houston team, they're going to play pretty much small ball. They need to take on athletic bigs. You want to be targeting athletic bigs against the Houston team, which I do think Marvin Bagley is. It's just a matter of he's only been getting low 20 minutes in this rotation. So at 5'3", could it get you there? Yes. Are there other options that we can maybe look to on the slate that are going to get more minutes and have more guaranteed upside? Yes. So not really sure I'm looking to go there. Harrison Barnes at only 5'4", 100 more than him, is the guy that's getting those minutes. So similar price tag, kind of what I'm talking about, to be honest. On the same team, I'd probably be looking to play him instead. 42, 34, 33 minutes, 29 minutes was his lowest, but a guy that can get up there in the mid-30s to 40 minutes, I'd probably want to go to him instead. So that's my overall breakdown on that one. Definitely going to have some interest in some of the core options on both sides there because it's going to be an up-tempo game. New York at Toronto at 7:30. Julius Randle at the top at 8-8 has been playing very, very well. Put up a triple-double last time out. A 9-point spread in this one in favor of the Toronto Raptors. A 215 over-under. Now, while Julius Randle has been playing very well, he is now priced up, and he gets a very tough matchup taking on this Toronto Raptors team. So I'm probably going to be fading. We'll have to see how my projection model grades out in the end. I always do rely on my projections, of course, with the system I've put together there. But I know my projections weigh in the over-under. I know it weighs in matchup, and I just have a feeling he's not going to grade out well at all, and I'm just probably not going to play him anyways. He's got to take on the defense of Pascal Siakam. Fred VanVleet's a guard, but still the help side on this team is just tremendous. OG Anunoby, Aaron Baines. The Toronto team is just scary defensively, scary good. And, I wouldn't be looking to him. Pascal Siakam on the other side at 8'3". This guy's an absolute beast out there. It's just a matter of whether it's going to be a blowout. And as mentioned with this game, with a 9-point spread, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Raptors pull away from this in this one, which means I want to target the lower-priced players. I'm not really looking to target, a Pascal Siakam at 8'3", when I can go down and target maybe an OG Anunoby at 5'8". He put up a big game last time out. Put up 44 DraftKings points, 4 for 7 from behind the arc. He had 6 rebounds, 5 steals. That's what OG Anunoby does, honestly. He's a wing shooter. He's a great defender. 3-and-D type player. So at 5'8", he could definitely get you there. And then, Chris Boucher at 5'2" is the guy I really want to be playing in a blowout because this guy's upside is crazy. It's just a matter of whether he gets the minutes. And in a game like this, I think it makes a lot of sense for him to get the minutes. He's an athletic big that's, kind of tall, lanky, skinny type of deal. So when he's taking on really big veteran bigs with a lot of weight on him, he can have difficulties. But in this one, when he's taking on the likes of Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson, I think it's actually a really good matchup for him. So Chris Boucher at 5'2", I have an interest. I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of interest in him come around lock time. And then Norman Powell would be the other one at 4-1 if this game gets away that I'd be looking to. Those two guys are the ones I'm probably most excited to play, just anticipating this game to be a little out of hand and them get more run than normal. So that's all from that game. I mean, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle are the main guys on the New York side. I wouldn't be playing any of them. If Alec Burks returns, he'd be the guy I'm looking to play. He's questionable, but at only 5'5", he would be the one, with his price tag that I'd be looking to play. He's put up 36, 38 DraftKings points before getting hurt. He put up 29 DraftKings points that time out with only 20 minutes played. And a guy that can just absolutely stroke it from behind the arc. 2 for 4, 4 for 6, and 4 for 5 from behind the arc so far in the season. So he'd be the one I'm looking to with his price tag and his upside. New Orleans at the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the top comes in at 8-1 on DraftKings. This game comes in with a 215 over under. 5.5 point favorites are the New Orleans Pelicans. So expected to be pretty close, and the Oklahoma City Thunder do get a bump up in pace in this one because the Pelicans do like to play fast. 215 over-under is the slowest on the slate, but they're the lowest on the slate, factoring in the OKC side, who doesn't play fast at all. So, yeah, kind of an interesting dynamic in this one with the total. But point being, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the Oklahoma City side is going to get a pace up in he's going to get a bump in pace. The only problem is he has to take on Lonzo Ball defense. Lonzo Ball, a very good defender, very good on-ball defender. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 8-1, can he get there? Not too sure. I'd probably look into some cheaper guys in the offense. A guy like Al Horford at 6-1, who has the upside. He got the rest last time out, so he's going to come in with fresh legs in this one at 6-1. He's put up 26 and 25 DraftKings points. Really just waiting on him to put up 40-plus DraftKings points. He's definitely capable. I think that game's right around the corner. Steven Adams taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to be an interesting one. He is the longtime Oklahoma City Thunder player. That's who he was known for playing for. They shipped him out of town. So, is he mad about it? I don't know. I don't really know if Steven Adams is the vengeance type of player. But regardless, I think he's going to want to play good against his opposing team. His former team, I should say. And at 5'7", he's pretty reasonably priced. So, keep an eye on that one. The only problem is he's got to battle the Zion Williamson on the glass, that type of deal. On the New Orleans side, my favorite options are one for his price tag, Lonzo Ball at 6'5". I think he continues to be underpriced for his involvement. He only put up 7 DraftKings points last time out, but that's what you're going to get with Lonzo. He put up 43 DraftKings points the time before. It's kind of a hit or miss, but at his price tag, he's capable of putting up 50. And at 6'5", that's going to blow that price tag out of the water, and you're going to be real happy with that. But top two plays, if you can fit in the salary, Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, they're the two guys in this offense, the main focal points. 50-plus DraftKings upside for both of these guys every time out, and you're pretty much expecting them to put up around 45 to 50 DraftKings points. So they're the two you want to be looking to at 7-9 and 8K if you can fit them in. And then if you can't, on the cheap end, I'm probably not looking to play anyone outside of JJ Redick. JJ Redick at 3.7 is too cheap for his ability to shoot the 3-ball. Hasn't had a big game in a while, but this is when you love to hop on him. He was 4.3, 4.2 the last 2 times out, and his price tag went down to 3.7. So seeing the price tag decrease, that's when you want to take advantage, and I think that we can definitely take advantage now because all he's going to do is go out there and hit 5 threes, which he is, beyond capable of doing, and to be real happy with his score real quick. So he'd be the guy I'm looking to play on the cheap end. And this one, last game, Phoenix taking on the Utah Jazz in Utah. Devin Booker at the top comes in at 8-6, and this game comes in with a 218 over-under. 3.5-point favorites are the Utah Jazz. 218 over-under, not exactly the top pace. Devin Booker at the top at 8-6. He's got been overpriced all season long so far, in my opinion. He's been up there at 9.8, 9.5, 9.1. But his price tag keeps dipping, and at 8.6, it's much more reasonable. Might be the time to jump on the Devin Booker bandwagon while you can. His ownership's probably going to be low, seeing only, low 30 points so far in the season. People are probably going to log into the DraftKings lobby, look at his game logs, and say, wow, he's been doing bad, and immediately click off him. So I do think that Devin Booker makes a lot of sense as a tournament play tonight. Donovan Mitchell on the other side at 7.6, it makes a lot of sense. I think that at 7.6, while Devin Booker's been kind of overpriced, I think Donovan Mitchell's underpriced. Definitely has a 50-point upside. It's just a matter of whether it's going to be a close game, and this one's expected to be a close game. So Donovan Mitchell, definitely you'd have interest in him. The two bigs, ironically, this game, I feel like there is, the core plays in this game you can have a lot of interest in because of their price tags. Rudy Gobert at 7.5 makes a lot of sense. He's got 40-plus fantasy point upside. He can get up there to 50. At 7.5, you'll be happy with that. Same rule applies to DeAndre Ayton. All these guys are priced in the 7K range and have 50-point upside. So DeAndre Ayton gets a really tough matchup taking on Rudy Gobert, a very good defender. I'd be looking more so to Rudy Gobert because DeAndre Ayton is not a good defender. I'd be looking to play Rudy Gobert. And then Chris Paul at 7K, underpriced, 50-point upside. I definitely like him. Those core plays, as mentioned. Mike Conley on the other side has been playing pretty good basketball after having a really tough go last season. He really struggled last season, but he's starting to come back around. The only problem is his price tag went up to 6.7. We've been able to target him at 6.3, 6.5 low 6K range. Now he's at 6.7, so he's going to have to give you those mid-30s, 40, 50 DraftKings points for you to be happy. But he's definitely capable, and against the Phoenix team, their defense doesn't scare me, so I wouldn't be surprised to keep riding the Mike Conley train. This Utah team's really hard to distinguish. I got to rely on my projections a lot of times with it. There's so many guys in this rotation that get a lot of minutes. Bojan Bogdanovic, 5'8", though, and once again, another really good three-point shooter. He shot 5 for 9 from behind the arc last time, put up 34.25 DraftKings points, and he's playing around 35 minutes a game, so he makes a lot of sense. A lot of minutes and a lot of threes. Jordan Clarkson, 4'8", a guy that can easily come in and put up 35-plus DraftKings points, so I have interest in him with the second unit. He comes in with the second unit, soaks up all the usage. He has no one else to battle with for usage, so I like Jordan Clarkson. And Joe Ingles, lastly, at 4'3", makes a lot of sense. Getting around 20 points a game at 4'3", if he can get hot from the end of the arc. We saw him put up 35 DraftKings points opening night. He can definitely do that again. So, obviously all of these guys on Utah can't get there. Like, not all of them are going to have a huge game. So I'm not saying throw all of these guys in one lineup. If you're playing multiple lineups, it makes sense with your lineup construction based upon the salary you have left to be throwing these guys in. If you're playing one lineup, you're going to have to pick a few. Maybe you go with a cheap guy and pay up for a Rudy Gobert or a Donovan Mitchell. Maybe you throw in a Bojan Bogdanovic and a Joe Ingles. Both, what could be looked at as underpriced forwards that get minutes and can shoot from behind the arc. So, that is my overall breakdown of this 5-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. If you enjoyed the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. I'll be here all NBA season long, breaking down these slates to help you guys become better NBA DFS players and to help you win some money. Don't forget, I do have my Patreon package. I've been working really hard on that. Reasonably priced, to offer all the stuff you're going to get across the industry. I've been playing daily fantasy sports since 2016. I know what other sites have to offer. The package I've been putting together has all that and more. Really happy with it. If interested in trying that out, that's linked below in the description. Wish you guys all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.